A house is built with bricks and beams. A home is built with love and dreams. But when it comes to selling their property, many home sellers make this 10th biggest mistakes. Okay, I want you to think of 3 words and tell me which do you feel most or least associated with. Ready? Number 1, property. Number 2, home. And number 3, family. Now I'm going to make a wild guess and suspect you'll be most associated with number 1, family, followed by home, and finally, property. The truth is, our family and loved ones are the people who make a property into a home. After all, a house is built with bricks and beams. A home is built with love and dreams. But when it comes to selling their property, many home sellers make this 10th biggest mistakes, and we shall find out what it is in a short while. Hi, my name is Alexs Chua from Home of the Elites, and welcome to the final episode of our 10-part video series, the 10 biggest mistakes home sellers make and how you can avoid them. By the way, if you missed any of our earlier videos, you can always check them out on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. This is our last video for this topic, but not the last video that we will be sharing on our channels. So you might as well click on the follow us button on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on the notification, and you will never miss any of our videos again. If you have done so, then let's get started. Today I'll be sharing with you the final mistake, which is having emotional attachment to their property. Do you remember the movie Up, which was produced by Pixar Animation Studios and released by Walt Disney Pictures in 2009? It shares the story of a young boy who fell in love, got married, bought a property, and the couple saved as much as they can to fulfill their dream to travel around the world. Sadly, the couple grew old and the wife fell sick and eventually passed away without fulfilling their dreams. Then came the real estate developers knocking on his door, but the elderly man simply refused to sell his house even though it was already surrounded by many new constructions. Then, tying balloons to his house, he decided to travel around the world in his house, which was lifted up into the air. There was a young scout who unknowingly got dragged along, and both had quite an adventure. But the elderly man finally learned how to let go of things. Although this is just a movie, it is a clear example of many home sellers who share a certain emotion attachment to their property. And let me explain why this is bad. The house selling process itself can be unpredictable and emotional roller coaster. When prospective buyers see a property they like, not everyone will express their interest upfront or offer the best price. They may criticize the property being old, the outdated renovation, or even pick on the nitty-gritty imperfection of the property. All this just for one intention: to bring the price down. Every action has a reaction, and upon hearing these negative remarks, suddenly the home seller heard a voice telling them, "Don't sell to this buyer." That voice is not from me, not from their family member, or their real estate agent. Whose voice do you think it was? One thing for sure, an angry mind is a narrow mind. The home seller may not be in the right state of mind to make a good decision, even if the buyer put in a good offer on the table. Here's the hard truth. Although the seller is upset, it is still better than having prospective buyers walking in and out of their property, smiling from cheek to cheek without a single comment or a single offer. Agree? Let's face it, selling a property can be a bittersweet experience if the seller is upgrading to a larger home or moving to a better place. The same process can also be stressful if he or she is grieving a major life change or downsizing. Home sellers are very likely to make these 3 mistakes if they are emotionally attached to their property. Number 1, wrong pricing. A property which has full of memories may have a high value to the seller. He may want to set a high price for that, But remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. For the buyer, there are no fond memories of the property. An overpriced property is not something that appeals to them or anyone in the first place. Number 2, poor decision making. The buyer's objective is to knock the seller's price as low as they can. Are the sellers prepared to hear some feedback that may not sound like music to them? Making any decision when a person is emotionally unstable is bad. I know someone who was dumped by his girlfriend, and out of devastation, he said yes to marrying another girl he barely knew. You can already figure out the outcome, can't you? Number 3, mental health. Being indecisive when making a big decision in life will take a toll on your mental health and possibly the people around you. You will risk souring the relationship with your family and loved ones when things get too stressful in the house. So what's my advice for today? Here are 3 things you can do. Number 1, be mentally prepared. Know what to expect. Remind yourself to stay calm when insensitive buyers visit your property and make negative remarks. If it helps, go out of the house whenever you have any house viewing, unless you are a control freak who simply loves to micromanage. Why bother to hang around? In fact, home buyers will be more relaxed and take their time to closely inspect the property when the owner is not around. So just leave the house for a while and do something that makes you happy. Number 2, be decisive. To make a good and considered decision, you need to know what is your desired outcome. Start by considering what is your goal. In this instance, set a realistic price, and when you achieve it, let it go. It does not matter if the right offer comes too fast, because buyers who have seen enough know what to offer. On the contrary, home sellers who have not had enough prospects viewing their property are the ones who are indecisive. Number 3, move on after the property is sold. Taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps backward is not going to make anything easier for home sellers. There was this incident that happened to me around 2014 after the additional buyer stamp duties was first introduced in 2013. If you can remember, the property market stayed cold for quite a while. A home seller contacted me, complaining that he has been desperately trying to sell his house for more than a year. He had many real estate agents working on the property, but none brought anything close to what he wanted. I happened to be serving a prospect who was actively house hunting after having sold her property. She was happy with what she saw and bought the property at a price which was slightly higher than the seller's reserve price. Sounds like a happy ending, doesn't it? But about 2 years later, I ran into the seller at a supermarket. Guess what? He commented that I did not give him my best advice back then, as the property market has improved and his property is worth a lot more. That year was 2016, but that home seller was still stuck in 2014. Remember, every decision that we make at a certain point in time is the best decision at that point in time. Things change over time, and there's no point harping about the past. One thing for sure, we cannot change the past, but we can make the future better if we choose to. Don't you agree? Okay, we have come to the end of this 10-part video series. Watch out for more videos coming up on our channel. Remember to click the follow us button on our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so. If you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in a property, you can always reach out to us at 9780-0000. As promised, we will only share our unbiased opinion. This is Alexs Chua from Home of the Elite signing off. Until we meet again, you stay safe for now.